Welcome to Small Arms Solutions. Today we're talking about what I believe is the finest military shotgun on the face of the earth. Now, I own a lot of guns. I own a lot of rifles and a lot of pistols, but I own one shotgun, and this is it because to me, this is as perfection as it comes in shotguns. There's no shotgun out there, and semi-max shotgun that is, who has been through more testing, more evaluation, and has seen more combat than this. Now, those of you who are Marines know this is the M1014. That is the shotgun that was adopted by them. Oh, it must have been, that was quite a few years ago. I think it was in the 90s. I'm not quite sure the exact date that this was adopted, but it's been in constant service. Now, for commercial people, this is referred to as the M4, Benelli's M4 series. Now, there's a lot of things that really make this thing special. The configuration you see here is the Marine Corps configuration. What that means is you have a 20-inch barrel. You have a 5-shot tube, 5 shots of 2 3/4 inch. You have telescopic stock, and those are adjustable, as you see, like so. And it can be even closer. I think there's probably 4 or 5 positions, maybe 4 positions on this sucker. If you look at the sights, you have a ghost ring sight in the rear, and you have a post in the front. So basically, when you look through these sights, it looks like you're looking through the same sights out of your M16. So you have they have that same kind of a peep sight. You have a 1913 rail on here, and what I have on here is a Trijicon reflex. And this is ideal for this. I have it zeroed in with 12 gauge slugs at 25 yards, and then of course with the buckshot that this is used. I mean, it's all for close quarter. So that's the zero that I use. Now, some of the interesting features on this, too, is it enables you to unload the shotgun without unloading the tube. So if you needed to change from, say, a slug to a buckshot or reversed, all you would have to do is pull back on the bolt. It would eject rounds in the chamber, and the round in the tube would stay there. The round in the tube is not going to move unless the gun fires. Then you can drop that round in there and close it and fire. The only way that you would have a round in the carrier is if you were to hit the button right here. Either you manually hit this or when the shotgun fires. So you're firing buckshot. Now I got to go to buck. I pull back, eject that out. Now I can drop in the slug, go, and I'm ready to go. With wearing body armor, the stock in its foremost position makes it even more comfortable to shoot. Now, when you think of Benelli, you think of inertia-operated shotguns. This is not inertia-operated. This is actually gas-operated. In fact, it's called the Argo system. The Argo system, what it utilizes is 2 pistons. There is 2 pistons on each side that strike the bolt carrier to knock it rearward. Now, this was necessary due to the type of ammunition that was being used in a military gun, the additional weight of accessories and so forth. The inertia was not reliable enough for that kind of military use, so they ended up getting rid of the inertia and going over to the Argo system or the 2-piston series. And this shotgun, I've had for a few years now, and for as far as ammunition is concerned, I put anything you can imagine through it. Mostly what I use is what it was designed for. This was designed for military-grade buckshot and slugs, and I never put any of those things in it that didn't work. I have not shot birdshot. I only use this thing as a self-defense type shotgun with buckshot and slugs. So everything I put in it, it's shot flawlessly. One thing also nice about the Benelli is if you look in the inside, you have a chrome-plated bolt, chrome-plated chamber, chrome-plated bore. So with that chrome plating in there, it makes it easy to clean, makes it easy to wipe off rather than have to scrub. But that's the hallmark of any really fine Benelli shotgun, is to have that chrome plating on the inside. For cleaning, for instance, you're seeing a cleaning video after this. I probably fired, 25, at least 25 plus slugs, and then a whole bunch of buck on top of that. So, it was quite a few rounds. The thing was easy to clean. Everything in the rear here just was wiped down with a rag. Of course, the barrel was cleaned properly, but everything else was just wiped down. Recoil is moderate. This is not a light shotgun. Prior to this, I had a Benelli M1014, which was the light inertia-fired shotgun, and that one bucked a lot more than this one did with the inertia. My M1014, I used a lot more bird shot and a lot more of a lighter shot, and it worked perfectly with it. This one, by the time I got this one, I just wasn't doing anything with it anymore. I was only using buckshot and birdshot. So reliability with everything that's been put through it is awesome. This is the ideal optic. Of course, you can take it right off and go back to iron sights. This is around a $2,000 shotgun, but it is worth every single penny. I've used Remington shotguns. I've used all kinds of shotgun over the years where you had to replace gas rings and ones you had to have different settings and different rings for using different kinds of ammunition. Stuff that was extremely complicated. And this one here it gets rid of all those issues. There's no gas rings. There's no O-rings. There's no adjustments. It's set up to do what it's supposed to do: buckshot and slug. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this to the range. I've got a couple different range footages to show you. I have one where I'm going to show you how you can actually put a total of 9 rounds in here rather than just the 5 that are in the tube. So we show you how to put the 5 in the tube, 1 in the carrier, 1 in the chamber. We show that, and we do a really nice demo of how fast this shoots. Now, I know now there are people who will claim that it's not true, but when this first came out, this was considered one of the fastest cycling shotguns in the world. All I can tell you is I fired 9 shots off, and I can't distinguish between shots to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's extremely fast cycling, and then we just have some fun shooting at some steel and shooting at the car and so forth. So let's go to the range and we'll see how it shoots. The M1014 magazine capacity is 7 rounds, but you can actually get 2 more rounds in. What you're basically doing is putting 1 round in the chamber and 1 on the carrier, and we're going to show you how to do that. Open the bolt, drop your 1 in the chamber, then the other one underneath the carrier, let it go forward. So now you have a total of 9 rounds. Well, as I said a few times, this is the only shotgun that I'm ever going to need. There's nothing else I've ever seen that even interests me. This does everything I've ever wanted it to do and could do, and it does it 100%. So if I've ever had to endorse a shotgun, this is it. This is certainly my favorite one. You do have some different configurations. If you don't like the pistol grip, you can get a regular stock. You have a lot of different things that you can do with it. So it's up to you what you want to do. For those of you who are occupied states who can't have any more than 5 shots, this is a 7-shot tube. This will cut it down so it only holds 5 for what you would have for hunting. And again, once you have the 7-shot, you can have 7 in here, 1 in here, 1 here, so a total of 9 rounds. There are many different options. We're not going to go over weapons maintenance of the M1014 shotgun. We've already gone over the shotgun. We've put quite a few rounds through this. And what we're going to do is we're going to show the Otis cleaning kit. This is by far the finest 12-gauge shotgun cleaning system in the world. As you're going to see when we show you how we use the patch savers and so forth, how you get a good tight squeeze on the barrel with the patches. There's nothing else that's like it. But as usual, we're going to go over some of our normal components that we're going to use. G96 gun treatment, which is my preservative. CLP, G96 CLP for lubricant. For the solvent, we're going to use the nitro solvent. This is better for shotguns. It works very good for the lead in the barrel. It also works very well for the polymer that's in there from the wads and so forth. So this is really good. And also Croil, which is the preservative that I put inside of the barrel, which, for the gun's going to sit for any length of period of time. It's a good thing to put on it so it won't rust. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to ensure that it's empty. So we've checked the chamber, it's empty. So we're going to remove the cap so we can remove the barrel. Left and right handguard. And here goes the barrel. Going to release the bolt. With the trigger group. is assembly of the bolt carrier group. That's all we have to it. First part we're going to go after is the barrel itself. As we also see the gas system right here, which we certainly can take apart as well. Sort of fine thread, so it takes a little bit of time to get it out. And there is your operating rod. And of course, we do have two of these. Now, normal maintenance, you're not going to have to take apart the operating rods, but we're going to do it completely. I probably won't shoot this shotgun for a little bit of time, so I'm probably going to scrub it up really good. I have to say this shotgun has worked very well dirty. In fact, some people say that this Argo operating system is a self-cleaning. I never will say anything self-cleaning, but I have to say that it's pretty damn clean. So we have both pistons, cocking handle. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the Otis kit. We're going to get patch saver, brush, patch. So we're going to put the end onto the end of the cable. And we're going to put the slotted tip. Now we're going to slide the slotted tip over the end. We're now going to take the patch saver. It's going to go right over it. Now we're going to take the large end, pinch up, pull through, and pull over. So now we have something that's exactly the diameter of the 12 gauge bore. Going to get the nitro solvent. I'm going to soak that up pretty good. And we're going to pull through. Now, as this centers up, you have a full 360-degree curvature, and it gives you a really tight choke going through that barrel. From that first patch, you can see lead fragments, unburnt propellant, and you can even see some plastic on here. So you can see how tight that fits around the bore. So what we're going to do is we're going to let that soak. But you can just see the chunks that comes off of there. So we're going to take the opposite side here. Now the inside of the Benelli is all chrome plated. So we're going to scrub that up really good inside there, get all the trash off of it. So now as that has sat, we're going to now put the brush on here. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any with me at the moment, but I would suggest that when you do this, that you have eye protection, because when this comes out of here, you're going to see stuff come out in chunks. This barrel is quite dirty. It has had a number of slugs and buckshot through it. And we can see chunks coming out right now. What a difference it makes using that patch saver versus just sticking a patch, sideways in a slotted tip. Do that a few more times. Okay, now we're going to switch back over to the patches. And you can clearly see on the unburnt propellant that's on the table. It's unbelievable how much of the propellant doesn't actually burn in a shotgun. Okay, we're going to slide that right over that slotted tip again. We're going to take our patch saver over the top. Largest end, pinch up, push over. Pull through. Now we're going to see a whole bunch of junk come out. Another pure black ring. And you're still seeing some chunks that are coming out of there too. Even using a brush sometimes doesn't do that great. Now, the degree of times that you're going to do this with your shotgun is going to be up to you. I tend to be a little more anal when it comes to this, wanting to get everything cleaned and the barrels scrubbed out as best as possible, so I probably spend more time than a lot of people do. You see another heavy black ring. Let's switch over again. Definitely be taking advantage of using this patch multiple times. Give it a try again. Another heavy black ring, run that through again. I'm going to put another patch on there. As you heard me say earlier in the video, I own a lot of guns. I own a lot of rifles and a lot of pistols, but only one shotgun. And quite honestly, I don't need any other shotgun. This is the only shotgun that I would ever need. I do believe this is the finest shotgun on the face of the earth for military, law enforcement, and personal protection purposes. Still, after all these years that it's seen service. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go through this again with the solvent and the brush, because that lead's pretty heavy in there. I probably fired a good 30 or 40 slugs out of this thing, so I guess it would make sense. Nice thing about this shotgun also is everything is chrome plated, so everything comes clean pretty easy. Everything pretty much wipes off. Do that a few more times. Now I'm just going to keep running some clean patches through until I get it coming out pretty clean. Still heavy ring of black. Other conventional cleaning systems, you never would see all this dirt in there because you're not getting tight enough of a fit between the patch and the barrel. But because this is so tight, you're seeing it. Certainly coming out nice and shiny now. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the way it is now. So I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull this one off and put a clean patch on. And then I'm going to put my preservative on there. Now, it's not as necessary to put the preservative in there at this point, just due to the fact that this is a nitro solvent. It's not a copper remover. So there's no salts in there that are going to be tearing apart the barrel. But just, I'm a creature of habit. I do what I do with when I do with all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put some Croil on here and run it through. I'm just going to put that through there twice. And I'm not going to have to worry about storing it. There we go. Now for the outside, I'm going to get some Q-tips in here. There's some stuff in the inside here. I'm going to want to make sure that I get out of the locking recess and such. Now I'm going to take my other preservative. And then all that's going to do is give me a nice outside coating that's going to keep it from rusting. And that sweet smell of G96 that we all love so much, and we wish Andy Goldman would make us some candles or some air fresheners. I'm going to pay a little bit of attention now to the pistons. What we're going to do is we're going to take a brass all-purpose brush, and we're going to scrub all that garbage off of those. As you see, it doesn't take much effort. And that's all there is to that. There's one done. These are also, this is a bronze all-purpose brush or copper all-purpose brush coming from Otis as well. So now those are all nice and clean. So now we're going to install those back in like so. I'll wipe that off here. Now you'll notice there's a rubber O-ring on there as well. So I want to make sure that that's always on. Sometimes a tool might be necessary for this, because it gets a little bit much to do by hand. Any cleaning rod can be used for this as well. Okay, now we're going to grab the next one. Same thing, drop it on like so. And that's all there is to that. Now we're going to take a look at the bolt. Now the beautiful thing about chrome is there's nothing there. So this is merely just wiping it off. There's literally no debris whatsoever on that bolt. Same with the firing pin. You also notice we do have a firing pin spring. Firing pin retainer. Little cam pin. And the bolt itself, I think I'm just gonna run a patch through it, just to give it some lubricant in there. And my Croil soak patch is going to work just fine for that. It's just how clean this system is. reassemble. I'm going to drop the bolt back in. Of course, you want to make sure that extractor is facing towards the right. Drop the cam pin in place. You want to make sure that you have the circle on the cam pin aligned with the path of the firing pin. We're going to drop the firing pin spring, the firing pin, all the way through. And now we're going to insert the firing pin retaining pin. And there we go. And I'm also going to take a little bit of this G96, spray it on the outside as well. Now we do have the fire control group. Again, nothing gets back here. It's relatively clean. It's just a matter of just wiping off a little bit. You take your all-purpose brush. That's all there is to that. And we're going to definitely go inside of the receiver just a little bit. We're going to see, take the rag. Again, because there's nothing in here. Okay, so now we're going to go bit to reassembly. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to drop in the bolt carrier group. So this is going to slide into a notch on the stock for the plunger. Okay, so we've got that spring tension here, so we know we got that right. So now we're going to take the trigger group. Like so. And we're going to push the retainer pin in place, which you see right here. Like so. And I'm going to lock the bolt to the rear. Click. So now we're going to put the barrel back in place. Of course, now we have a nice sling to deal with. We're going to slide the barrel into place. But before we can put everything all together, we need to put the handguards on. We do have left and right sides. So we're going to pop that off a little bit further again. Just like so. That's all we have to it. So this is clean and it's ready to go into storage. Using all the G96 products, I'm definitely sure that it's going to be fine for storage even in this humid environment we have here in Texas. If you have any questions regarding this or regarding the cleaning of this shotgun, please feel free to leave me a comment. I hope you enjoyed it. Please click like, please subscribe, and even better, share. Thank you.